Hey, it's Chuck here. We're back with Milton Daily Homes, and I hope you had a fantastic Halloween. Hope you had a lot of fun and that everything remained safe. It seems like Milton, there's always a ton of kids, but we had less kids than we had last year. Interesting. So anyhow, Coulson is the first one up, and these guys probably bought this home like 6 months ago. I mean, it wasn't that long. They probably paid pretty close to what they're listing, so they're probably in a position where they're going to lose some money, but anyhow, the double car garage, these homes can work really well for investment properties because there's a lot of space in them and there's split levels. You can kind of split up you can divide things, and you've got through the garage is actually kind of a separate entrance, and there's a sliding door entrance in the back. So savvy investors know how to work with these homes. Inside, even with the furniture, when it was listed before, I thought people are going to come in and think they need to do some work in here. The kitchen, the bathrooms, the borders, the wallpaper, all that kind of stuff. Now, with a vacant home, all that stuff just becomes more obvious because you're not being distracted by the furniture at all. So anyhow, that's the sliding door walkout from the family room, which is sort of half a level down from the kitchen living area. And then that's all the way down in the basement there. You got some bedrooms. The washroom, pretty rough. So this, I believe, is a bank sale. So there's a decent sized backyard there. Pretty sure that the bank took this one over. So anyhow, that's and people ask me, they say, hey, what kind of a deal do we get with bank sales? The truth is, my experience, the banks are they're all over the place. Like, they don't really have any rhyme or reason to how they sign back offers. Sometimes you find they do well, so it can be a bit of a numbers game. But really, how many bank sales are there at any given time? Maybe 2 or 3 in Milton at the most. Sometimes there's 0. So it can be an interesting one. Most of the time, they have to hold out for market value, and I do have a bit more time to talk about bank sales with this episode. But if they don't, the owner can come back to them and say, hey, you didn't sell for enough, and it can get into this whole nasty little cycle there. But what we have in Canada, we don't have foreclosures, we have mostly power of sales. And so what that means is that if you don't pay your mortgage after a certain time, the bank will like repossess the home, and they will sell it, and then they will pay off all of their debts, whatever has been lost as a result of you not paying, plus your property taxes, plus real estate fees, all that stuff they pay for, and then whatever's left over, the owner gets. And so it's a bit different than a foreclosure, because with a foreclosure, you actually have the right of the bank can reclaim the house as theirs fully. And with this method, they say, okay, we're going to take what's ours. It's a simpler process that can happen very, very quickly. So that's why most banks in Canada choose to do that. So the biggest risk with them is mostly that the bank says, as is, there's no warranties, they completely chop everything off. So if there's a problem with the home that you didn't find, you can't go back to them for anything. They make you agree to that. And if the owner actually comes back and pays off the debt, the day before closing, the bank has the option to cancel the agreement, and then you're stuck, especially if you bought another home or if you've given your notice and your rent. You could be homeless right at the last minute. Doesn't happen often, but the time that it does happen, would you want it to be you? So anyhow, you can call or email us if you have any questions about bank sales. They're not always the fantastic opportunities that people think they are. However, Philbrook is the next one, 439, semi-detached, 1860 square feet, and price seems a little high. I don't think they did a great job getting it ready. I think there's a ton of, you can't even see the counters here. The only counter you can see is right here. It's been upgraded. All this stuff, you got to take that off. Like, when you put minimal effort in, you get minimal results out. And so that's the biggest message. If you watch Daily Homes, you'll see it over and over again. Same thing here. Like, it does not take a lot of effort to take some of the stuff off your countertops. The home itself, 4 bedrooms plus a laundry upstairs. It's a pretty good layout. They've got a basement apartment, which I think is mostly the justification for why they're well up into the 4s. I don't know if they have a huge chance at getting this money, especially with the way it's being presented. And Calhoun is at 474. Profiled a couple of these earlier this week. They're the Mattamy Spirit Plan 4, 1835 square feet, and asking a lot higher. I mean, one of them listed this week, really nice for $449. Probably sell for more, but at $474, I mean, how do you justify the same model? Like, can you really add up those upgrades and prove that to the buyer it's going to add the value? Because what you spend and what you actually earn as value in your home can be completely different. When you put an air conditioning unit in, you do not get the money for that air conditioning unit. And we've had clients that have actually before listing said to us, hey, should we put an air conditioner in? And I say, absolutely not. It's not something that you're ever going to get money back for. You get a quote so you can actually tell a buyer this is how much it would cost to do it. But you would never reclaim that money once you've spent it to put it in the home. Okay, so there it is. You've got some hardwood floors here. They've upgraded some lights. They've done a bit of a chair rail there. Nice front room. It can be used as an office. And the kitchen looks like it's had some work done for sure. So, you know, $25K in light fixtures I think is a bit of a tall order. But they do have some nice stuff in here. Higginbotham. Higginbotham is one of my favorite streets. Love the name. This home, I'm really surprised at why it hasn't sold. It's been listed even for more than this, and I thought it was still a good deal then. 2,300 square feet. Got your double car garage. Looks like an all brick home. You've got the custom door insert here. You've got some nice looking tile and hardwood, and this is a little bit of an office, like a little bit of a nook. It's actually a really handy space. You've got this space here, your dining plus your living, opening up to the kitchen. You got some great counters here. Again, some upgraded lights. You've got the backsplash that's been done. Changed the hood fan to a black one instead of the white one. Very nice stuff. And they have a separate door, which I've always believed really is a handy thing to have, whether or not you run a business from your house or whatever. Even if you have guys just working on your furnace, get to things nice and quickly. It's a very good thing to have. I don't know if it adds the value that people, I think, would realize after having it. And I've got one in my house, and I have a little home office, and I'll tell you what, it's terrific. Okay, I love it. Great price. February 2012 is when they're looking for possession. And the last listing of the day, it's a short list today, is at 816 Trudeau, 555. It's 2,800 square feet. You're getting some hardwood floors. I don't know if the kitchen's a huge wow, but hey, it's a pretty good layout. You've got a separate living dining room, so it can work very well, especially if you know, you do even, sometimes people use that living room, the front room, as a home office. The master is enormous. The ensuite is huge, and it's a good looking listing right here. So for $555, really you can't go wrong. They've lowered the price, I think, a little bit just to reflect the fact that they're on Trudeau. But with you know, James Snow and all that, you don't get a ton of traffic here. It's right around, like, this 816 Trudeau is probably just a little bit north of Clark. It's a good little area. There's lots of walking trails. Great listing. You're not far from Hawthorne Cafe. I'm a big fan. So anyhow, that's the list. You may have noticed I got a haircut. Had a great haircut from a lady named Tundi at the Loft Hair Studio right here in Milton. And I think she's only there on weekends, but I want to give a shout out to her. She's a loyal watcher of the videos, and she did a great job. I mean, I've been looking for a good hair person for a while in Milton. I think I found her. So that's the list. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you back tomorrow with more Milton Daily Homes. Bye for now.